with everything that's taking place right now with Iran, Rob, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it is an interview that's taken. Oh, by the way, this is the gas poll that you ran. Okay, let's talk about the poll first. How much have gas prices in the area increased? Can you go back to it, please? None, 20%. So that's a fifth. 25 to 50 cents, 49%. 50 cents to 75 cents, 18%. 75 cents plus 13%, which is one.
Guys, thanks so much for joining me, John Sotocast, PBD, talking about some interesting facts when it comes to China, what they're going to be facing going forward. Let's take a look at it. How much of your gas prices have gone up? Mine, I think I was paying probably about $2.79 a few days ago, and I think I'm up to about $3.10, $3.15. So it's definitely been going up. Home heating oil has been insane in New York. I don't know what the hell's going on. Supposedly, I mean, home heating oil is the same as diesel, essentially. And the tax on the transportation side is supposed to make it more expensive. However, the diesel fuel is like $3 a gallon, and the home heating oil is like 50% more. It's like $1. It's like $4.50, which is pretty wild. Let me know if you guys are experiencing something similar to that.
1 out of 6. So that, Rob, how much was gas prices for you when you filled it up this morning?
It's around $3.50 in my area, but that's up from last weekend. Last Friday it was about $2.70.
From $2.70 to $3.50.
Yep.
With gas prices.
Yes,
what is crude oil price right now, Tom? What is it looking like right now?
I think West Texas Intermediate opened this morning at 72. Will you do that? Just WTI price? Oh,
87?
Up $6 today.
And Tom, what's the ideal price?
By the way, did you just hear Tom's reaction?
$6.
No. Did you? Tom meant to say 82, not 72. Okay.
Yes.
Right, Tom. Is that okay? Fair to say? So Tom meant to say 82, and it's 87. Okay. It's 87.
Going up.
$6 today.
So Tom, if this is $6 today, and you're seeing, let's talk purely brass tacks, how the individual is going to be impacted by this, whether you're like Adam, you don't drive and you take Ubers, or if you're somebody that drives and you pay for gas. If it's going to 87, how quickly is the speed of the market feeling the pain of gas prices?
Well, the Straits of Hormuz are there, so every time there's a shortage, and a shortage creates prices to go up. Also, when demand goes...
By the way, guys, sorry for the interruption today. I got a guy with me here today. I don't know if you could see him here. The little baby. He might be causing me a little bit of trouble today. Just bear in mind that I got a 150-pound guy on my legs today.
Goes up. And right now, there's more demand for the U.S. oil because we're pumping and it's available. We've increased the output for Venezuela over the past 4 weeks, 2x from when we took out Maduro.
Yeah.
So 2x oil is coming out of Venezuela. Remember, they would like sneak the oil out. It was like embargo oil. Now it's open oil. The pipes are open from the valley, and that's 2x. So we're pumping and we have it available, but there's demand for it because the Straits of Hormuz have closed. Take a look at that. That chart is the Iraq War.
And by the way, like I don't know if these guys are going to touch upon it, but these are prices. These price increases are just reflections in the market. So nobody has yet bought barrels at this price yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe people have placed an order. But what you have to understand is that it's not like, you know, the barrels we already have them here. It's a matter of it's the demand. It's the demand, the supply. But these are projected prices that companies will be paying, right? So there's an increase in the price essentially over the idea that that these costs are going to be getting jacked up. I don't see how the Straits. I don't see how they can close the Straits of Hormuz. I mean, I don't know how they're going to have the ability to do that. I mean, it may be like just threatening. I mean, you know, they're not going to shoot down a tank or something like that. I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Take a look at Pat. See the first jump there? Is the Iran war. So click on, if you would.
Can we go 5 years?
5 days? Just 5 days. All you need to do it. Okay, there you go. The war starts. And Pat, take a look at that. It gently goes up.
Yep.
And now look what happens on March 5th. The war escalates. See there? March 5th, the war escalates.
Yeah.
So it was hanging tough until the war started escalating, and now the Straits of Hormuz have been closed for a couple days, and that's putting pressure, on China. So this is demand related. The U.S. is fine. We have plenty. We're not going to have shortages at the pump. But the demand for what we're pumping is up. So guess what? The price goes up.
And Rob, do you mind going to 5 years or even go to max? Tom, correct me if I'm wrong. They want to keep the barrel of oil around $70. Is that
65
sort of
plus
65?
above 65?
Okay.
Yes, that's correct. 65 in the U.S., you make a profit, and you can afford to extract shale.
Okay, so if you look at this, and Pat, you're the numbers guy, it basically fell below market average in 2020. Nobody was moving, right? It went down to almost $20 a barrel. They couldn't even get it away. But historically, if you want to go back 10 years when Trump took office, oil was around $40. Is that right?
Yep.
Remember that,
2016, yeah.
that was also the Saudi market manipulation trying to keep the price low to hurt Alberta oil sands and North Dakota shale because those are alternative drills that were working.
And then Tom, walk me through this. 2022, it spikes under Biden because we weren't pumping as much oil. How does this affect American oil?
What happened in the middle of 2022? We slowly opened after COVID, but what had Biden done trying to keep the price down? He emptied the SPR, the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. And so suddenly the demand shoots way up. So that's Biden's, by the way, that's also Biden inflation. And just poor executive management from the Department of Energy. That didn't have to happen after COVID.
So Tom, walk me through this. Even though there's been a major spike in the last 5 days with the Iran war, it pales in comparison to what happened a few years ago,
Yeah,
right?
the spike is that little tiny thing at the end. You can put the, you see, since Trump was elected, what's been happening? A gentle slide back to, so he gets to go to November 24. There you go, keep going, see? Yeah.
So the guy we should be asking is Vinny, who's got a massive truck.
Oh, let me explain something to you. People that are like, hey, come to Miami. I'm not coming to Miami. I'm not hanging out with you
What do you
at
mean
all.
people? You mean
Yeah,
me?
I'm not-
By the way, just so you know, here's what you need to know.
This
Not
is well
last
managed,
Friday, but when did war start? It's been what now? Today's 6 days. Last Friday, it was around $67, $70 to now being at where it's at. So you're talking, $17 to $20 up, which is direct impact. People are feeling it. And how much of that's going to translate here? Trump's going to have to control this. But if Strait of Hormuz, if nothing's leaving there, and China's sitting around knowing 80% of their oil, they're relying there. Tom, how much longer can China sit around without coming out and saying, hey, we kind of need to protect ourselves with Iran because the oil we're relying on? How long can they go?
China's going to need oil in 21 days. I was reading that 21 days, they will start to feel it. It won't be catastrophic.
And here's an interesting thing, and this is where it's kind of hard to say that this is all either about Israel, or it's kind of hard to say this is a one issue situation that we have going on here right now, right? Because if you factor in everything that's going on, if you factor in all of the other issues, China's huge. I mean, huge. If they're saying within 21 days that China's going to start really feeling the pain of this, then I mean, it's really hard to say that this might have been the playbook the entire time.
But within 21 days, they're really going to start to feel it. So I'd like to know this. Iran is closing the Strait of Hormuz. If we control the skies, which we do,
I was just going to say,
and we have basically impacted a tremendous amount of their navy, what exactly is keeping the Strait of Hormuz? Because that's where China's going to get their oil. Or are we on the backside willing to say, okay, I'm sorry, the strait's closed, and because that's going to put pressure on China?
Yeah, if you look at this chart that Rob just pulled up, Iran and Venezuela's export most of their crude oil to China. Okay,
Right.
Share of Iran and Venezuela's crude oil export that go to China. Look at that, 87% of Iran. And
so now this is kind of a little bit misleading, and I think they talk about this in an improper term. So yes, 51% of Venezuelan oil went to China. 87% of Iranian oil went to China. However, how much of the import is China's overall amount, right? How much of their export is China's overall oil import? It's still something. I think it's probably around 15 to 20% of all of the oil exports that China was getting will be disrupted just by these two countries alone. Now, that's one factor. The other factor is the Strait being closed, the Strait of Hormuz being closed. That really exacerbates the situation because the other countries, the other neighboring countries that use that passageway to bring in the oil, I think you're talking about now like 70, 80% of Chinese oil runs through that region. And if that oil can't come across, we have plenty of fuel here. They don't. They don't have that stuff. That's the one thing that they really depend on. And that's why they have a massive amount of coal burning, and that's why they're focusing in a lot of electric and renewables. But as of right now, they still need a ton of oil. And like he said, within 21 days, they're going to really start feeling it as these supply chains become crippled.
55% of Venezuela.
Bingo.
And if you control both of them now, and China no longer has control of Panama Canal because of what happened with Panama.
CK Hutchinson.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Panama's
CK Hutchinson.
Supreme Court.
Panama Supreme Court comes out and says, no, we're not doing it. Listen, you don't have any more authority over this. These two ports are ours. If you think these guys, when they say they're playing, chess and they're grandmasters, if you think that, you lock in Panama Canal first, so China can't play that as a weapon.
And you guys have to remember, Panama. That was the first move. That was the first piece. That was the first chess piece played in this entire scenario, right? It was like I think the first month we started harping on that. You remember Trump saying we gave it back. That was stupid. This and that. Then you have a massive waves of tariffs coming in. A lot of jostling back and forth, getting other deals with other countries. the Venezuelan thing, shutting them down, not allowing Venezuela to export anymore to China. Now you have the Iran war, the Strait of Hormuz being closed. Like, people, again, this is not a single issue situation. Like, I know, like, especially, like, I think Alex Jones was on Nick Fuentes the other day, and they're basically saying that, you know, our government is run by Israel. Even if that is true, which I don't particularly agree with, but let's say it is true, there's still other factors that will benefit America. Like, I get where they're coming from, I get it, but there's still other factors that will benefit America. And it seems like the long game is to cripple China, have them come to the table so that we can all, you know, go along and get along.
Weapon. You lock in Venezuela next, then you go after Iran. Now China's sitting around saying, well, how can we create pain for U.S.?
Mm-hmm.
How can we create pain for U.S. to do anything? Strategically, it's actually very interesting when you think about the sequencing of what's been done.
Yeah. Well, we're coming into summer. Maybe they could embargo the knockoff Callaway drivers.
Yeah.
Well,
It'd be catastrophic for guys like you.
Catastrophic.
Yeah.
Tom?
can I speculate on
Yeah,
something?
go for it.
So, oil. Trump's been saying he's going to do two things. You know, we talk about the 20-point plan that he was going to do.
Yep.
At the top of the list, he was going to shut down the oil, the border, and he's going to drill, baby, drill. Did he not say those two things?
Yes.
What if this were all a part of Trump's plan? Shut down the border, drill, baby, drill. Let's go through here. We just learned that China, which is our number one
Enemy.
combatant, you want to say that?
They're our enemy.
They
My
get
opinion.
what percentage of their oil from Venezuela and Iran? The vast majority of it. Drill, baby, drill. Taking down China. Now let's pan out a little bit. A year ago, when Syria was about to fall, Bashar al-Assad calls his boys, Vladimir, what's up, man? Yeah, they can't help you. A buddy of mine did a great breakdown of this. Can't help him because he's embroiled in a war in Ukraine. Bingo. Hey, he calls up Iran. Iran can't do anything because they're fighting with Israel. So now everything leads back to China. So Russia's embroiled in a war with Ukraine. We're funding that. Iran is tied up with Israel. Israel's knocking out all their proxies. Bing, 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 bing. Syria falls. Venezuela, when they fall, they say, hey, guys, who's going to come help us out here? Nobody. So now who's helping Iran? Is China showing up? No. Is Russia showing up? No. So could it be that Trump, when he said drill, baby, drill, this was all part of his plan to take out all these countries and basically say, China, what's up with the tariffs now, buddy? All your oil, all your power, all your energy. You have 1 billion people that you need to keep the lights on, and you're going to be major struggling when I take out all your allies. So could it be that Trump had this planned all along? Could be.
If it is.
Yeah.
If this is exactly how they thought about this, what a
That's
master
a gangster move.
What
It's
a
almost like he
master
read your
plan, if
next
they
5
did.
moves.
What did he call
Written
it?
by
He
PBD.
said Marco Rubio will end up being the greatest
Secretary of State.
of all time,
Oh, yeah.
is what he said. So, Tom, what are we looking at here with the China imports?
Well, thank you, Rob. China imported 5 million barrels a day through the Strait of Hormuz last year. I don't know. Yeah.
And it tells you from where 1.2 from Iraq, 395 Kuwait, 106 Qatar, 666 UAE, they should have done 667, 703 Oman, 1.5 million Saudi, and 1.4 million Iran.
Yeah, and so never mind the numbers. Iran is only 1.4 that, but the highway's closed.
Exactly. Gang,
Yeah, it's a huge issue. A huge issue. A lot of people aren't thinking about that, but you guys have to think that they had 4 years to figure this shit out. They had 4 years of planning, 4 years of preparation. Guys, if you're still here, just hit the subscribe button. That's all I ask. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Hit the notification bell. This is not something like I hate the war. I don't like it. I really do think that a lot of the I think he's losing a lot of the people in the MAGA, America First space. But it seems like I just can't take it that this is just a one-sided issue. I cannot. I kind of refuse to believe that this is all just a product of Israel. And I'm kind of teetering, right? Because I have many friends on many sides of this issue. But like I said, I've said it before. If Israel's a component, that obviously is. It obviously is a component. That's without a shadow of a doubt. If the neocons are a component, I think they are. However, if America First can also be a component of this, if we are essentially carving out and disabling the Chinese Communist Party to the point where they have to come to the negotiating table and they have to play ball, I don't think they can last, or they're going to be severely hurt by the next 3 years if if this continues the way it's been going. Like if they allow, if their oil production is shut down, if their energy suppliers are being kneecapped left and right, I don't see how they're not going to be severely suffering. They have to keep all those people fed. They have to keep all the lights on, and it's gonna be a big problem. That's why if you've done any bit of deep diving, and they've been ramping up production of, like I said, coal, energy, like all across the board. They knew this was coming. They kind of saw this was coming, but I still don't think they had enough time to really fully prepare. And maybe that was also a big pillar of what this was about. The Israeli angle, yes. Neocon angle, yes. Military industrial complex, yes. Also, crippling China and bringing them to the negotiating table, which would help out Middle America, because if they're playing ball and we could start some sort of to maybe produce some things more in this country, that can also be a help. So I don't know. It's an interesting point, interesting topic, and an interesting take. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this. I know a lot of people say that these guys are bought and paid for. I consume it all. Whatever. If they claim they're getting $7,000 a post or not, I still try to consume as much content as I can, just because I don't want to get bogged down into one side or the other. Like it's kind of hard not to, but I just find that everybody's becoming, especially the right. The right is becoming so polarized that you are either pro or anti-Israel, and I'm not a fan of that. I think there can be two things at once. But let me know what you guys think. If you want to hit me on the X, 623 Talk is my account on X. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I'm John Soto. See you in the next video, guys. Take care.